What do you do when you're not doing poetry?
You're asking that question at a very difficult time.
I'm doing art full time for, as long as I can.
Slam champion for subsequent years. So
Yes.
you were 2022
Yes.
and you were 2023.
I did not expect it. I went for that competition. I remember on that very day as I was going for the competition, I forgot my phone in the house.
Those are the years I performed better than the others.
I'd find myself staying up very late.
Now, being an artist is a very lonely journey.
Hello there, and welcome to the All African Women Poetry Festival podcast. My name is Emma Ofosua, and I'm happy to be your host again for this edition. I'm going to be having an amazing conversation with my two most important guests today. And coming all the way from Kenya, we have Winnie Madoro and Nyash. Nyangari, actually, but we call her Nyash, and so we're going to stick with that today. Thank you so much for making time. How are you feeling? How are you doing?
Thank you for having us, Emma. It's all good. Well, a little sad,
Okay.
but also very, very informed and, just so much information that we're living with from here. Yeah.
Great. How about you? How are you feeling?
Well, I'm feeling stoked. Really, it's all that I can right now before I go back to my country and wail like a baby, because this has been the epitome of everything.
Yeah.
Great. And you look amazing, you both.
Thank
look
you, you
amazing.
too.
Yeah. Great. So we're going to get into an up-close and personal conversation, walk through a bit of your journey and get to experience you as a person. Most people know you as the performers that you are, but very few know you as the people that you are. So that's the conversation we want to get into. So maybe just take us through your early beginnings. How has you happen to be in corporate and also in poetry scenes, and so the duality that you exist in, how has that journey into finding your feet in poetry been like for you, Winnie?
You're asking that question at a very difficult time right now. But career-wise, so I am a human resource professional, but also a poet. You leave out the human resource bit of it. I am a poet. It is in me. I would change into another career, but poetry would not change at all. Balancing the two has not really been difficult, because human resource is something that I love to do. It's also service to humans, to people. But the angle of now balancing in terms of hours, work hours, and then now you have to write. Sometimes you're thinking of something and you can't write it really because you're so tired. So you want to wait for the following day for you to write it. I find it a bit challenging, So sometimes I'd find myself staying up very late because there's a line that is bothering me and I really have to put it down on paper.
Right.
Yeah.
More of a morning person or a night person?
Night person.
Night
Morning,
person.
no. No.
I guess that's where the inspiration comes in at night. Then.
Yes.
Fantastic. You, Nyash, though, your journey did start. I think we can trace it all the way back to tribeless youth. How has that journey been like, and what do you do when you're not doing poetry and navigating those two spaces?
Okay, I graduated school last year.
Congratulations.
Thank you. And I think I was very intentional with studying literature because somehow, not totally, but somehow it informs a part of my poetry. Of course, it means that at some point, some of the jobs, perhaps I'm going to be a teacher of literature. Perhaps I might, choose another career path. So right now, before I make that choice, I'm doing art full time for, as long as I can.
Wow.
Yeah. But it's been a crazy journey because I think for me, I had to navigate art and studies. I really got deep into it and really loved it more. So understanding that learning is not just for me to pass my exams, but because I'm gonna need the information, I need to be informed. And every time I'm reading a book, I'm relating, and I'm like, yo, this is so dope. So Tribeless Youth is an organization in Nakuru, and our journey, our relationship started in 2021 after COVID, when the space was launched. And it's rare to find hubs that support the youth, women, that incubate artists and help them grow. You know, they take what you have and they're like, what can we do with it? How much more can we help you? So with Tribeless Youth, it really helped me in my journey, especially in Artivism. The Artivism is the intersection of an artist and activism. And learning, being taught about policies, being taught about your government extensively, having research materials, and more so having a space where you can always come to. It's in Nakuru. I live in Nakuru in Kenya, and I love this community. It has helped me grow as a creative. It has helped me as a creative to help other creatives grow. So having that community and creating that community for me is such a beautiful thing. And to recognize that spaces like that do that, it's really something. Yeah.
You did mention Artivism, the
Yeah.
intersection between art and activism.
Yeah.
So what do you think, or how do you think that artists can use our voices and our creative abilities to improve or impact on social change?
Okay. Well, part of my bio, the edited part,
The edited part.
is that art is a voice. Is that for me, I am a voice to somebody that cannot speak out. Is that there's somebody that has been marginalized somewhere, and there's nobody to defend them. So being an artist is being an advocate. Being an artist is being a voice to the voiceless, is having the strength to speak out on things that most people cannot, you know. So the role of art is heavy in social change, because if we do not do it, who will, you know? And art is very diverse, because I use poetry.
Right.
I have used poetry in incorporating other forms of art. I've used music. We've had murals drawn, you know, speaking towards things, you know, social change, social transformation, speaking towards the issues that we all go through, speaking towards violence, speaking towards marginalization, speaking towards all these things.
Even love.
Yeah. Oh, love. Yeah. Thank you. Yeah. Everything. And using art to just bring it to the surface is such a beautiful way to communicate a message that sometimes can be ugly and chaotic. And I love it. I love every second of it. It's heart-wrenching. It drains me completely, because when I'm going deep into research, when I'm having conversations with little children, when I'm having conversations with women out there who've been through one thing and the other, and they give you their story, it makes your heart clench, and you know, and it's your burden to tell their story, to help inform on what is going on in the society and what can we do about it.
Right. Fantastic. Talking about heart-wrenching and loving this journey, you both happen to be the Poet You Should Know Slam champion for subsequent years. So you were 2022 and you were 2023. How heart-wrenching was it when you were waiting to be called on to either know whether you had won or not? So I'll start with you, Winnie. Since you're actually the reigning champion now. What was that experience like? And probably as you're an artist, you could tell us how that has helped open up doors of opportunity in your creative career as a poet and as a writer. Yeah.
So honestly, I did not expect it. Honestly, I did not. I went for that competition. I remember on that very day as I was going for the competition, I forgot my phone in the house. So I had to go back.
Did you have your piece on there?
Wait, not really, but back in the country. Right now, it's sort of cashless. So we're using our phones to pay and everything. So I had to go back and pick it. By that time, I thought I was running late. Good thing I got there in time. So the competition started. I don't really think I believed in myself that much. So we went for the first round, and I was like, I'm just going to do this. So I did it. So we were the first, I was among the first people to be called. We're not calling in a particular order. So I was called, and I thought, this is it. So I'm going home. And I was really okay with it. I was okay with, I gave it a chance. I came here and I performed, and that was it. So then I was told that I was going to the second round, and that is when it got serious for me. I was like, so there's something they're seeing in me, So let me give it my best this time then. So in the second round, I gave it my best. And on the third round, I did not perform the piece that I wanted to perform. I shifted it to perform a piece that was so close to my heart. And afterwards, so on the second and the third round, that is when it got all heated and the stomach boiling, everything. Everyone is just anxious. So they were calling everyone, and I'm like, okay, so I'm number 4. Okay, so I'm number 3. Okay, so I'm number 2, and then I wasn't. Okay.
And then you were the winner.
She was there. She hugged me actually. She
and then you were the winner.
Yeah, it was an amazing thing. After that, what Poets You Should Know gave me was I actually got to believe in myself more. I had started a foundation, Wima Foundation, that uses poetry for entertainment, and also educating the public. So we had done an event previously on matters mental health, but now after the PYSK competition, I got to do now a second edition. But then now it gave me purpose, because I was able to shift and see, okay, what more can I do with this foundation and with this gift that people are actually seeing and are actually believing in more than I even believe in it myself. Because for me, I use poetry as an outlet for people to connect with it. That is something else. It gives me an obligation. It's like now I have an obligation to them, the people who are really depending on this word. So it is I am supposed to share it with them. So I got to partner with KTTA that handles blood donation and organ transplant. So I ventured into blood donation. It's something I didn't care about initially, because most of my mates would donate blood because of drinking soda that was given there. But after seeing the impact that it really had and going through the statistics around it, I got to organize an event, give the skeleton a pulse now with that. The reason I got that partnership was because I emerged as the slam champion of PYSK. So it has opened doors for sure. And it has given me more, it has made me believe in myself more.
That's phenomenal, especially, and I mean, I think you've dovetailed right into what I was about to ask next. So that's really, really phenomenal. The work you're able to do, even on would that have been your first competition? Is that the first competition that you'd been in?
The first serious competition.
Okay, and you actually did nail that. Congratulations.
Thank you.
You're a national champion then. I mean, talking about impact and being able to leverage creativity for the level of impact that Winnie is working on. You, Nyash, how do you see the impact of tribalist youth going down, and even you yourself as an artist, and platforms like Poets You Should Know, how do you see that having impact on creative communities, on your work as an artist, and really on the general scope of art in Kenya?
Okay. First,
briefly,
okay. Being an artist is getting into something that is very tentative. The dreams we have, they are so large scale that sometimes we cannot tell anybody about them. I mean, we are here, right? That would be my answer to the question, asking me what platforms did PYSK open after I won. I mean, I'm here, I'm in another country because of it, and it's so beautiful, and to have somebody, hold your hand. Now, being an artist is a very lonely journey. these possibilities that you think you can achieve. Okay, being a creative is basically you create. So it means that you are not limited. It means that we dream, yes? So who will be there with you when you're doing all this? Who will be the eye, the vision, the third eye that listens to you, that sees you, and is like, I like what you're aiming at, but perhaps we can twist it, turn it a little bit.
Right.
So other than that, for me, Tribeless Youth, I'd say, it mentored me as an artist. When honestly, we say in Swahili ubwabwa, but you're growing,
Okay. And what do you say? How do you say that?
It's you see when a baby is growing, like how in the Bible says there's solid food and there's like milk.
What's the word for it?
Ubwabwa.
Ubwabwa.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So basically, when you do not understand so much, when you have not, interacted with so many people, so they see you and they're like, we'd like to hold your hand.
Right.
You do not have to give us anything in return, but come with your art and we see what we can do with it.
To help.
Right? And so they hold my hand. They have this incubation program for artists. I was in the first cohort that happened between the first years TY was launched, Tribeless Youth.
Right.
And I learned, right? And I was mentored. Now, this year, I have mentored young artists.
That's growth.
You see? And for me, that is artistry, that is mentorship. If I can learn, and from what I've learned, I can help mentor somebody else, then that is the beauty of art. It means that where I'm going, somebody else can look at my journey and is motivated because they see that there is something in it for me,
Great.
Yes.
Great.
Yes.
I would absolutely love to have a much lengthy conversation into all the amazing impact work that you're making on the back of your creativity. But this is about all that time would allow us for.
Yeah.
But we look forward to monitoring, following, experiencing
Beautiful.
more of your growth journey. Uboa, you say, and so we'll be there along the way, cheering you on. Thank you so very much for gracing the Green Couch. We're happy to have had you. I hope you've enjoyed Ghana. And you will be back.
We have.
Awesome. And there, ladies and gentlemen, have been my guest, Winnie Madoro, Kazu, and Nyangari Nyash. And so please do well to like, comment, share, engage with us in the comment sections. This has been the All African Women Poetry Festival podcast. My name is Emma Ofosua. See you next time.
Tapon, actually in Fanti, means a paddle. So when I saw the name, I was really fascinated because it's time also to use our language and symbols to represent ourselves.